Welcome to an experience powered by Pipe TV.
The love of our community speaks. Real talks, real solutions.
Welcome to The Love of Our Community Speaks. I'm your host, Marcie Novella, and we have a special guest this afternoon. Please welcome Smitha Lee.
Yeah. Good to be here.
Now, Smitha, I'm going to call you Smitha.
Yeah.
Don't combine the names.
Yeah. Smitha and Lee. Yeah.
Okay. Now, we got a history together.
Yes, we do.
And I'd like to share with our audience from the very beginning. In 2018, he was the producer and the director of Own Your Stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
Smitha also produced and was the director of photography for Owning Sids. So
Yeah.
I'm so happy to have you on the show.
It's good to be here.
Now, I know you from filmmaking, but when I saw your bio, I had no idea that you had all those accomplishments. And I must say, I'm a fan. I saw your YouTube video as well about how you wiped out your student loan.
Yeah.
Please tell us what you did without having your loan forgiven. How did you do that?
So, I worked. So I had my production company and my other companies, and I still had my main job as well. So what I was doing is basically making sure I lived well below my needs. And that extra income that I was having coming from my production companies, I was putting that aside on top of still paying the company, paying staff members, different things like that. But a portion that would typically come to me, I literally was taking that, placing it towards the side. And when it got enough, I just literally went in there and just wiped the entire thing out.
And please tell the audience, how much was that student loan?
$72,000.
And this is during COVID.
Yep, during COVID.
So it could be accomplished.
Yeah.
So what does that teach you about finance?
So I would say one of the biggest things is, even when it came to COVID, like there in the production world, there was a lot of things shutting down. So, but one thing that was ramping up was really social media and marketing. Then I had already kind of pseudo started it with our company. At that time, I didn't really grab the horns of it. So that year, COVID kind of forced me to do that. So I was like, okay, weddings are going to go down. We're not going to have as many weddings. Still got to support people. We still got to do what we need to do. Still got to keep the rent paid on the house. Oh, with the mortgage paid on the house, rent for the studio. Still got to do all of that. Still got to make it happen. And what we did, we didn't even, the forbearance on the rent, and mortgage, we didn't even do that. We still paid everything. So I shifted the business itself and went into the marketing stage where I saw there was a huge need, because now you have a lot of companies that I can't physically touch you. So only how these companies could communicate was either through content creators or through YouTube, social media. TikTok then boomed. So I kind of shifted everything and went to where the money was going. And that led me to creating a marketing company that still holds its own now.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really amazing. But tell us how you got your beginning. You started at the age of what? 18.
Yep. Started at 18.
Straight out of high school.
Straight out of high school. My mom got me a Kodak camera. And I started like taking little small headshots for people back in like high school and then like college-wise. Because I went ahead and went to a community college before entering my 4-year because I wanted to hurry up and get my email. Because at that time with Facebook, same thing, I saw an opportunity. With Facebook, you had, to get on Facebook, you had to have an email, a collegiate email. So I was like, hey, I'm going to get there before everyone else. MySpace was really doing well at the time, but everybody really wanted to go to Facebook because it was inclusive. Like, it was exclusive. And to get on there, you had to have the email. So literally, I went to SEC, or community college, just that summertime so I could get my email address, got that, and started hustling right then. I wanted to go into filmmaking then, but the issue that I quickly found out is that, okay, not only am I going to need really good audio, which was imperative because I was making like silent little short films then, but no one's going to watch anything that has bad audio. So that was just not going to work. So I, at that time, pivoted to photography, bought on that skill, learned, mentored, went under several different mentors, people that I would just ask, like, hey, can I come in your production company just to learn? And can I come part of your photo shoot just to learn? There's a lot of different people that would just allow me to be on set. And I'm just sitting back learning, and what I would learn, I would then go back and actually, so at that time, wrapping all of that up with the marketing, not with the marketing aspect, but I quickly found out with mentors and just different people that I was really good at this. And I really didn't have anybody kind of teach me. So I was literally taking the information that I was learning while being on set, learning from other people, and practicing that, and just kind of grew from there. And also the great thing at that time, YouTube was becoming a really strong thing. So I would just search it up on YouTube, different things, and learn from there. And now we're here.
But it wasn't just about film. Mm-mm. You was exposed to the art,
yes,
per se.
Yes.
And you were exposed to dancing. Mm-hmm. Did you do some singing too?
Yeah. So my grandfather, and I would say since I was like 4, maybe 5, I was singing with my grandpa in the all-male choir and like quartet and stuff. So that's anyone knows that that's so far as like gospel. That's my background. That kind of got me, not that kind of, but that got me into the arts because church was really, really important to me because that's where my theater background came into play. When I first started like acting, all that came from the church. Like they would give us roles and different things, and that was my starting. Where when I got into college, either my sophomore or junior year, I had my first production, and to this day, I don't know why. So I made a 3-hour production. It was a 3-hour play that everybody stayed. Everybody stayed the entire time, being completely sold out. It was called Overtures of a Deeper Realm, and everyone loved it. And they stayed. I was shocked because it was mad long, but and I didn't realize it was that long because timing aspect. This is my first one, so I wasn't used to timing. And when we did that play again, I was able to kind of cut down and cut out what parts. You've
done a lot of plays.
Yeah.
Now, so you got plays, filmmaking, and dance. And he's a part of a fraternity. Tell everybody.
Phi Beta Sigma.
And I noticed you did a play called Chocolate Cinderella.
Yes, Chocolate Cinderella was our last production. That play we basically made it a more African American portion of the story of Cinderella, but it based around her relationship with her father. So we flipped the entire thing on its head. So the whole standpoint is, how can I save my father? So because I have 2 girls, so with having 2 girls, of course, you write for what you know. So the whole story in that basis was about that, in that relationship.
And with all the plays and the dance and the filmmaking, you got your own company now. And please tell everybody what your company name is and what you do with that.
Several different ones, but the one that everyone knows is Smitha Lee.
Yes.
So that would be our family and media portion. For Advantage would be our marketing agency, which we do a lot of work with our corporate companies. Then we have Mama Magnolia, that's my wife's lead, which focuses on like maternity and newborns. And then we have our nonprofit that gets more so into the production aspect and how I'm able to give back not only to my staff and their companies, but to put on these plays and productions.
Well, speaking of giving back, you also do a lot of mentoring.
Yes.
You mentor young men into filmmaking. Is it just men?
Nah, just men and women.
Men and women.
Literally today I had a call, one of my mentees, Chelsea called. She was like, hey, I got a question about this client. I talked about it. She said, oh, you sound tired. I was like, I am. Oh, well, okay. I don't want to bother you. But, even when I'm not in my best place, I make sure that I still show up for them. So it's good to have those types of relationships because you're pouring into them what wasn't there for you, but you're giving them a space so they don't have to go through the same struggles. They can just literally step over and go straight into what they want to do.
That's great. That's great. So along with the mentoring, you also have a foundation with your wife. Tell everybody about that.
Okay, so AVK Scholar is our foundation where we've had several different mentees come through that program from, like some of my mentees have went to like some Ivy League schools. Last one was able to go to a summer program with Yale. We've had students go through Juilliard. We've had students, start now. A lot of them have their own companies, and we're just growing. And we're able to give back to people that deserve it. May not have the best opportunities because we are from South Carolina, so we have to make our own. And yes, we have the hub of Atlanta and Charlotte that's around, but I mean that doesn't feed into where we're at. So we're making our own staple where we're at and building, and they're going out.
Now, how can people support? Because it is a nonprofit organization.
So it is nonprofit, 513C. All paperwork is there. If you just go to AVK Scholar, you'll see the donation button and stuff there. We would greatly appreciate it. You can actually see where funds going because people are doing the work. So, yes.
So, I don't want to try to make you out to be like a Superman. But you still got other things that you're doing too.
Yes.
Please share. I recently saw you were working with the White House.
Yes. So we and this is where mentorship comes into play. One of my mentees, David Mitchell, his dad, Harold Mitchell, had an opportunity relationship with the White House. David needed support on the video side, so I partnered with him and his dad with their company, Regenesis Institute, and we were able to, work with the White House. Currently working on a long stint documentary for Regenesis Institute that will cover several different projects that is based with funding that help to support a lot of different communities throughout the United States. So I can't say a lot with that, but it's an ongoing project, and it's really been just to see.
Can you say the name of the project?
Well, the name of the project is still ongoing. So right now it's Regenesis Institute. So the ongoing side of that, whenever we get through like filming in all these different spots, it's going to be really great for people to see that you see where the money itself, because we have this, we have new president, all this thing, all this is going on, and funding is being cut, but to actually see, hey, some of the funding that may be getting cut was going to places like this. and to see where some of those places and how it's impacted those places, like moms reconnecting with kids, stories about that. We have stories where there have been communities that have been disenfranchised the entire time, and that funding have helped to land people in housing. So there's just a lot of things that go on, and those people are not just leaning on the government. Now they've established small businesses, and they're growing. So it's not just people just sitting there. So just to see that type of work that's being done and being able to, partner with David and his father just to create that documentary, it's been great.
So I'm going to put you on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like best? Filmmaking? Photography? I know it's all under the same umbrella, but I see that you do a lot of weddings too.
So the funny thing about it, what I enjoy the most is public speaking.
Really?
Yes. I don't know.
He's a college professor as well.
was. For 8 years, I was.
Yes.
I enjoy that. I enjoy engaging with the mind and having really fun dialogue. So with photography, I'm able to speak through a image that's just there. It's not moving, but you just see the image itself, and you have to interpret that. With film, I'm able to speak through moving art and audio, and I'm be able to create a story. With theater, I'm able to create a story of a play that's in one room. You're locked in. You have to focus with it only being in this one room. Dance is the same thing. You're just speaking in a different way. So all those, I feel there are just talents that help platform me in different ways. I thoroughly enjoy all of them, and I'm still learning at all of them. But I would say the thing that I do love the most would be speaking. I love speaking, inspiring, and connecting with others. That's what I love the most.
Well, can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
You inspired me, because when I wrote my book, that's all I wanted to do was write. But when I worked with you and I saw how it was developed, I really enjoyed it. And I said, I got to learn more about this filmmaking. I didn't know too much because you were helping me to develop ideas with my story by being the director. And as we were talking, I was just sharing you my story. But then I saw how you develop it, and I wanted to learn more about it. So whether you believe it or not, you mentored me.
Oh, wow.
And this is why I'm in this studio today, because it started with Own Your Stupidity and you sitting with me and talking with me and educating me. So I want to thank you.
It's no problem. I appreciate it.
And let me tell you, we didn't get along because we were going back and forth with how to create. And that's what I learned about things, that everything is not going to always be aired out smoothly. You're going to have your bumps, but the end products, I was glad to know that my personal story was fulfilled and you were a part of that team.
Yeah. It's funny, but in filmmaking we got a thing, you have the plan is written, plan on doing the plan, and when you get there, sometimes you just got to throw the plan out. So it's a blessing, and I mean, as to think about with people, like in all aspects of art, is collaborating with people. So as long as you are a phenomenal collaborator, I feel like in every single medium, as long as you're doing your work, you always still have to do your work as a student to learn the craft. That's the standard. But the collaboration part and wanting to be a people person is so imperative in this art, because there's so many hands that go into making one film. There's so many hands that go into making podcasts nowadays. So many hands that go into, like, even on the photography side, when it comes to like a lot of these magazines, there's a retoucher, there's a photographer, there's hair and makeup, there's someone that's doing just the clothing and design, then you have the producer. There's so many hands that goes into just a photo. So
when are you coming in Fashion Week?
What's funny is a good bit of my friends that actually go to Fashion Week. I have not. So what I have to do one day, and I pray I get this opportunity. I want to sit down one year and literally be able to, the things I want to do, put those in the schedule. And no matter what comes up, I'm able to still do those things.
Wow.
That would be a great thing, because nowadays, I mean, and it's the blessing of the route. Like, I am in a place where I have to, I'm at the whim of the wind sometimes, because when things come, I have to go. Totally fine. I'm up to that and up to sacrificing. And as we're going, we're just growing. And one day, there would be, steps that I wouldn't have to do that. So it's just a part of the process. I'm enjoying the process. Can't complain about it.
Well, you're doing more than just enjoying the process.
That is true.
You're changing lives, Smitha.
Wow.
And once you get to the point of changing lives, you got to understand that people are watching you, and they want to be just like you.
Yeah.
So continue with just being a good example. You're doing a great job with reaching out to the communities. And like you said, you're from South Carolina. I'm from South Carolina. That's our home.
Yep.
And, my team, Macedonia High School, used to travel to Spartanburg a lot. And we got many whippings back then, but we had to go hard at your school, because your school was tough to beat, especially on the basketball court. I played in your high school, played games against your school. It was wow. So, I mean, now you're stepping out of South Carolina and moving on to bigger things, going out the country.
Yeah.
You told me you're leaving for Switzerland.
Yeah, leave for Switzerland tonight.
And just continue to grow. We're proud of you.
I appreciate it.
And you have a home here with the love of our community speaks, but also the Pipe TV family. So tell everybody where we could get your social media and reach out to you, how we can find you.
Y'all can find me, everything, Smitha Lee. Smith, then A, then Lee. Smitha Lee. Together, you type that in Google, it's going to pull up everything. I've done very well at creating the SEO, so people can just do it. So that's it. Thank you.
And tell people about all your foundations as well.
So you will find that underneath the mentoring portion, you just literally scroll down and you'll see a button with me and my wife with AVK Scholar. Or just go to avkscholars.org, and you can find all the information as well.
Now, I'm going to ask you, how can a person be mentored by you? What would they need to do?
So that is a harder process now than what it was. It is a harder process now, because I am starting to branch out. There's going to be a slight separation where they will have to kind of learn, intern with a lot of my staff, and then eventually they'll come to me. So I'm not doing a lot of straight one-on-ones. I am creating a masterclass in January that I will kind of continue through, but the one-on-one portions, because I have so many now, I'm starting to kind of back away and do more group pulls.
Okay. All right. So in the meantime, how can you let people know what you're doing and how the difference you want to make to the community? Are you doing speaking engagements? Are you setting up where you can speak and let people know what matters?
No matter big or small podcast, I am interested. That is the place where I'm at right now. So just letting you know, big or small, I'm there. So info@smithalee.com. Send us an email. So
it's just that simple.
Just that simple right now. We're gonna see. I've had the open call for a year, and it's been great. So we're gonna see where that goes. And because there's a lot of people, I like Joe Budden. Same as that thing he did at the beginnings, and you see where he's at now.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming out. You're very dear to me, and I just had to have you be my first official guest on this platform. I have done the show on Zoom, but this is the first time that I'm representing the Love of Our Community Speaks in the studio. So you're actually my first guest.
Well, I appreciate it.
I want to thank you so much for coming out, and I want to thank our audience for watching. Please join us next time on the Love of Our Community Speaks, and please follow me, Marcie Novella. Looking forward to hearing from everyone. And once again, representing what? The Dirty South, right? Hashtag Alvin Represents. Thank you very much for watching.
Are you an artist or model interested in moving your career to the next level? Then send an email now to MZT Castings LLC, an A&R artist model development company, to set up your consultation. We provide training for ages 6 and up and work with seasoned and promising new artists and models around the world. Here are 4 easy goals we can reach. 1. We can get you to be in print, runway, magazines, stage films, and more. 2. We can help guide you to book jobs locally and nationally for your own independent branding. 3. You can learn business etiquette and the secrets to have a success route in the industry. 4. We can make it all available to you. Email your name, complete contact information, and best time to reach you to mzt.castings@gmail.com.